Hey, my legion, how y'all doing today? Welcome to Stinky Storytime with Jason, or Farty Storytime. This book is called Farts and Spars Guide by Craig S. Bauer, illustrated by Travis Millard. I'll tell you about how much I paid for the book after the book I'm done reading it. In the back, pull my finger. From the gentle hiss to the silent but deadly to the rip-roaring salute of the seismic blast, this hilarious illustrated mock spotter's guide identifies the field mark's voice, habitat, and range of 10 common windbreakers, so you can identify he or she who dealt it every time. Can't pinpoint what the flight of the buttock bees sound like? Just push the button on the attached battery-powered fart machine, which accurately reproduces each emanation and let it rip. That's the main reason I got this. It has a fart maker right there. Alright, let's get into it. Look at the illustrations right there. Look at them. Okay. Here we go. No doubt, with all those grapes, Aristotle, the world's first naturalist, Pascal and Linnaeus, must have eaten too much Solanum malignate eggplant while working through some late-night taxonomical riddle, only to spend the following morning tutoring in Latin. And of course, with Captain Fitzroy's cooking on the HMS Beagle, Darwin surely broke wind with a maritime gale that would chase his finches around the Galapagos. Yet there is no evidence that these scions of natural history ever considered researching the economist's key, separating the flight of buttock bees from the sleeping dog. Not a single scientist, not Edward O. Wilson, not even late Stephen Jay Gould, longtime columnist for Natural History magazine, ever realized that the late population craved a methodology to distinguish the boom of the seismic blast from the hiss disputed of the silent but deadly. As a student of each of the above mentioned scientists, I am honored to present the research that eluded their own laboratories. I cannot explain why Darwin chose to study beetles over barking spiders. Wilson studies ants instead of anal emissions, or Gould preferred paleontology to poots. But I am proud to declare, with Farts, a spotter's guide to natural history canon is finally complete. Here we go. The seismic blast. Stinky PC blow-door office. Okay, field marks unmistakable, and emitter typically calls his spot before launch, mimicking sounds among flock. Also, tailgate sign. Voice, the louder, the wetter, the better. Habitat, mostly all male environment, especially hungover situations. Range usually requires Richter scale for accurate assessment. This is damage done by the fart right here. Said description: recently declared an alternative to ethanol, the green stream creates tremendous force through the natural orifice. Producers routinely cite this energy conservation among their proudest achievements. Regularity found during drinking competitions and over carb-laden breakfast. Usually appears in flocks. The blast not only lasts during the lingering aura, but also in the future tales of witnesses. This is what it sounds like. And all that devastation. Next, we have the silent but deadly. Look at that, I see a guy who's smiling. Okay, field marks, shifting in seat, furtive eye contact, muffled giggle, voice silent or possibly faint hiss. Nice hiss. Habitat, classroom, especially preschool, public spaces, especially mass transit, vicinity of grandparents, range, entire city bus. I remember in school, I sit in the front seat, I rip out fart, I get off the bus and everyone had to walk through and smell it. That was so funny. I remember just watching them sit there. Oh, God, they didn't know I did it either. Laughed my ass off. It was so funny. Okay. Description is the most elusive emission, yet the silent but deadly, rarely passes unnoticed. Considered non-vocal for centuries, recent studies suggest a faint hiss, rarely detected above waist level. The SBD is more often identified by juvenile observers, adults for as of yet inconclusive reasons. Traditionally acknowledge SBD with visual cues silently. Okay, here's the sound, but you gotta listen to it. Here we go. I'll do it twice. Okay, one more time. You hear it hissing that. Okay, number 3, blowing smoke. Look at that. I gotta really rip it out. Fanning burrows and flaring nostrils indicate presence. Rare. 1956 appearance near propane rumored but never recorded due to scientist fatality. Voice, song longer than any other species except a long goodbye disputed. Habitat meadows, amphitheaters. Range, southern United States, Eastern Bloc countries, Buffalo, New York. Okay. Said description, the very definition of breaking wind, this long, quiet gust is like a factory smokestack on a cold day. And it has been known to extinguish matches closely related to the poof, not spoof, the poof, and also long goodbye. This species can pollute outdoor events, including concerts in the park. Long thought remnant of smokestacks and burning rubber. This meat eater special carries a half-baked odor that is distinct to the specimen. Here we go, number 3. All right, you go on to number 4. The one that got away. Here we go. See his grandpa right there, stinging up the place. Stock, field mark stock followed by horror in provider's facial expression. Varies greatly from motor revving to barely audible. Habitat, quiet environments including libraries, churches, especially weddings and funerals, and holiday dinners. Range, unpredictable, might carry just one pew over or could fill up a cathedral. Description, brightly discolored and relatively easy to identify. This species release, often accompanied by a titiculate shriek, shocks the issuer as much as it does the unfortunate audience. Unpredictable in flight, individuals take many forms. Observers of this emission also have a story to tell, whereas the supplier remains predictably mute. Okay, here's number 4. Do it twice. Oh, man. Okay, there you go. Okay, number 5, the flight of the buttock bees. Okay, tight, light, and tighter. No, tight, tight, and tighter. This individual seeks out into the world with the fadishness of a wound clock. Voice shrill, staccato sound suggesting air horn pressure. Habitat, anywhere objects are stored or stacked in well-ordered environments and schedules are kept. From icy situations to pure pursed-lipped environments. Description, this gas, at its most organized, the sounds and scents emanating from its host are punctual, punctuated, and punctilious. Plus, these emissions can't be learned. They seem hardwired, released precisely when directed to do so. Those bossy chirps are more blips than blowouts and also appear in flocks. There's the sound right here. Okay, it's not the sound of sounds, sound of the flight of the buttock bees. Okay. Man, all this farting stuff makes me want to take a shit. Alright, here we go. The poof, not the spoof, the poof. And some people say I'm ripping off spoof. I'm not ripping off spoof, I'm just doing a book about farts. I know spoof would appreciate this too. And after, I'll tell you how I did some good, and also I bought it and stuff. Okay, this is Poof Albertus galencentus. Okay. Says, often distinguished by the pastel colors and laissez-faire attitude, this species was first identified taking flight from a pair of Abercrombie and Finch watermelon chinos. Delicate song most resembles a wispy poof. Yacht clubs, super clubs, country clubs, and British clubs where they're from. Range varies by tax bracket, rarely found on common ground. It is a fart of the rich and famous. Yeah, it stinks. Description: long thought to be a mythical creature, this rarefied air is easily identified from its curiously saccharine smell to the refusal of many genteel observers to acknowledge its presence. This melange of perfume with the rotten truth elicits whispers, but never comments most commonly observed among populations who declare their poop don't stink and it doesn't. Well, sort of. Here it is. I do it twice. Okay, that's much ado about nothing right there. In between states. Look at that. Office smelly sees change of panties. Field marks confused and concerned. Facial expression of hosts. Scent almost lingers longer than the supplier. Voice varies, often sounding like a plop of liquor, similar to ketchup squirting from a bottle. Habitat: brief boxers and rarely panties that will never be worn again. Range rarely below the leg cuffs. Description: suspicious due to the sudden absence of the supplier. The species drives its host from dinner party or den, often associated with illness or alcohol. Individuals may occupy a gas, solid, or liquid state, or a mixture thereof, and are unique in the flatulence family. And unusual, the host face suggests after utter consternation is the best field mark. If you are observant enough to catch the look before the flight. In between states, here we go. God. Okay. Let's see, the sleeping dog. And number 8, the sleeping dog. Summon all Lacenus incognite. Let's see, mute. Look at this vampire right there. Dog right there. People horrified. Trying to do the Ouija thing. Okay. Halloween thing right there. Ouija Halloween. Field marks only emitted near an observer who appears too exhausted to document the species' presence. Reports of a muffled hiss, but voice largely unknown. Habitat exclusively found beneath bed sheets, duvets, and even quilts. Range from headboard to footboard. Description: often misidentified as a vague yoga position, this aura surrounds the slumberous, causing white light to emanate from the ninth chakra, aka the fourth eye. Boy, that's dirty. Only species thought to arise from both human and canine hosts. Presence only thought to have amphetamine properties as adjacent subjects rarely manage sleep. Okay, number 8. Here we go. Do it twice. Okay. That's a belch right there. Okay, number 9. The long goodbye. Burstus infinitarium. The guy right there farting, and he ended up betraying the old man. Field mark species usually detected before host is observed. Host obvious physical unease is also a telltale sign of species impending presence, as well as post-release deflation of pelvic area. Voice: among the most musical species, this emission can sing for what seems like hours, especially to the relieved supplier. Habitat changes, often fleeing a public environment to a very private refuge. Range, waiting rooms, waiting pools, Mexican, Indian restaurants. Okay. Says description, elusive and secretive. Individuals of this unusual species appear most often in public places after have been confined in lengthy social situations disturbed by the extended length and strength characteristic of this emission. The provider typically wrestles with this gas for up to an hour until finally this scent must fly the coop. Keen observers can articulate the long goodbye from key signs including the repeated crossing and uncrossing of legs, an inability to sit still, and a painful grimace that post-event tends to transform into a satisfied smile if not a nap. It is a long one, folks. I'm going to do it twice. Here we go. God, that doesn't make you want to take a shit. Nothing. One more time. Ah. Okay, number 10 is aftershock. I go, oh, it's me, I faltered. Says, Albertus stincus. Field marks rare species distinguished by alliance with others, surprisingly overt in appearance. Voice varies, can be quite loud, appears to come out of nowhere. Habitat commonly found in company of other more predictable species. Range, worldwide, erratic, migrant. Okay. Description, once thought physically impossible, the aftershock remains one of the most unusual emissions. Always a surprise visitor. This eruptive species travels exclusively in flocks, usually among larger species. Individuals only become conspicuous when dominant flock grows silent or departs habitat altogether. Host usually appears calm and unconfident, followed by large gasps of disbelief shortly thereafter. Here's the aftershock twice. Here we go. God. There we go. And the end of the book. The author has spent plenty of time studying flatulence with his lab assistants, 5-year-old Malcolm and 8-year-old Udon. When not conducting research, Kelly writes about travel, business, the arts, and numerous other topics for more than 30 magazine and newspapers annually and discusses travel. Attends on NPR affiliate KUOW. He received a 2008 Northern Lights Award for Excellence in Canadian Travel Journalism. That's cool. Prior to his writing career, he's taught natural history among other subjects for 12 years, though an occasional class was interrupted by unintended sound, smells, and embarrassed giggles that followed. This is, in fact, his first humorous manuscript detailing the natural history of the fart. And then the illustrator says, runs the Fudge Factory Comics operation in Los Angeles. Prior to this book, Travis had never actually farted and took on the project of a greater personal learning experience. Attempting to better understand the subject, he explored the method drawings technique and further submerged himself in this rich tapestry of neighborhood taco trucks. And some photos right there. And that's it. Now, let me, hold on. Yeah, I did a bit of good one. Buying this, I think it was written like $9.98. I didn't know how many pages it was. I didn't know how to fart maker in it, but I thought it'd be funny. Hopefully this video didn't stink too much. Because it seems like it's, you walk a mile for a fart, joke. But I got this, well, I didn't get for $9.99. I got for $1.19 used. Plus, I had to pay $3.99 shipping and handling. And it says, this order directly supports Goodwill. I got from Goodwill through Amazon. It supports goodwill programs, promotes reuse, keeping useful items out of our local landfills, and giving items a second life for every dollar spent on this order. 89 cents directly supports our mission programs through funding, job training, and employment services. Thanks for supporting Goodwill in our mission to empower individuals and strengthen families and inspire communities. Oh, such communists. So there you have it. This has been Farts, a Spotter's Guide. Hope you liked reading and the farts, everybody. So let's take a trip through the memory lane of farts. Here we go. Alright. There you have it, everybody. Hopefully this video didn't overstay its welcome. Hopefully it didn't stink. So I hope you liked the video, everybody. Till next time, please, take care of my Legion.